Welcome to a sneak peek of our new podcast, Takeline. New episodes drop every Tuesday starting March 16th. Please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Enjoy the show. Okay, so All-Star.
Yes.
First of all, Team LeBron wins again. The Elam ending. This is our second time seeing the Elam ending in a NBA context. I think it added to it because it at least gave us some drama in what would otherwise have been a blowout game. Domantas Sabonis wins the skills challenge. Steph Curry just practicing dark magic or something out there to win the 3-point competition. And then Anthony Simons wins the dunk contest. What are your takeaways from this weekend? From really one day. What are your takeaways from this one day event?
I know that maybe for the players, so I don't know how they felt about it, but as the viewer, I kind of like that it was all in one day in a sense of I got to sit down at 5 p.m. and I watched everything straight through till 10 p.m. or whatever time it was, 9 p.m. So I liked that in that aspect, but I think the dunk contest was anticlimactic. You have to have a big guy. You have to have a superstar to mantle the event because that's who you need to have to be excited for. Think Steph Curry. Like, imagine if Steph Curry was not in the 3-point contest. That would be a completely different contest.
We should talk about what I think is certainly the least fun of these events, which is the skills competition won by Domantas Sabonis, Indiana Pacers star Domantas Sabonis, who can only go left. But somehow won the skills competition. That's fine.
Oh my
I think that, you are the 2-time champion. You are a college champion.
I'm also a skills champion. I won one in the WNBA All-Star game.
And I was getting to that. You are a skills champion.
Did you know that, Jason?
Yes, I was about to say it, but I'm glad that you said it. What is, how would you redesign this event? Like, to really accurately gauge the skills of these players, because I feel like, not to say it's easy, but it seems like it's not a real accurate gauge of how skillful these players are.
Yeah, first of all, I just get rid of it as a whole. We're not going to ever judge how a player's skill set is, but the way to make it interesting, is they used to have a thing where they would do an NBA legend with a current NBA player, with a WNBA player, and then they would do group skills competitions. I think that would be way more entertaining. I think that would make it fun because, one of the shots you had to make was a half-court shot. We all love people having to heave it. That's why every team does a giveaway of money or something or a car, because we all like to see people trying to hit that half-court shot. So, yeah, let's just throw away that skills competition concept as a whole and bring back the group skill competition. What do you think? What do you think? What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I agree. It's like I don't like them going at the same time on the same basket. That is weird to me. I wish there was a parallel court so that they could, there's not a chance that they're on when they're shooting at the same basket that
that's the
shots
fun part.
I guess that is the fun part. I just wish there was a little more juice, whether it's live defenders trying to steal the ball or they both have to go against Lou Dort or something like that. Just something to make it feel like the stakes are a little higher, because it feels like, all the players in the NBA now, regardless of position, are just so skilled, as we've seen now with big guys able to go out there and do stuff like this. It just feels like they're not really getting pushed in a way that is super interesting. That's all.
And I think I like that. It's almost like we know that they can dribble around these cones and throw a chest pass, and we know they can hit a 3-pointer. So what if you had the fans decide on where the shots were from the skills competition? And what if you had to do a horse shot and then start? So your clock starts and my first shot is behind the basket. I shoot it over the backboard. It swishes, and then I start that skills competition, and then the other person has to do it with their something different. But I agree, they have to switch it up because, like I said, the dunk contest and the skills competition, that's when I go get the snackies. That's my time to get ready for the 3-point competition in the game.
Yeah, let's talk about that 3-point competition. So That was exciting. That was the most fun of the competitions outside of the actual game. It was so
Period.
Fun.
The only thing I think that could compete with the 3-point contest at NBA All-Star would be Dwayne Wade's spade competition that he has. That's the only thing. That's it, because the 3-point contest, Steph Curry, in true Steph Curry fashion, they ask him about it like, man, you had to make that last ball. And the last ball's worth 2 points, people, by the way. So he had 1 ball left for 2 points. The 2 points, he was down 1 point. So that 1 ball would make him win by 1. And Steph Curry, being the gamer, ice in his veins guy he is, they asked him about it. And he said, yeah, I knew it came down to the last ball, and I could just hear the crowd, whatever crowd was here. He basically said, I went into Mamba mode on the last ball, and that's why I knew I couldn't miss it, because I started to feel that shot was important. This guy's incredible, Jason. You're right. He's cheating. Something's up. It was like he literally talked about going into that mode. Like, I started to hear the crowd, and then she even joked and was like, yeah, thank goodness for the built-in crowd noise.
The crowd noise.
But he literally talked about, like, he basically just locked in on, so the cheat code that you're talking about that he's cheating, he has access to his Mamba mode. Like, he has full-on access to it to just tap in on call. That's cheating.
I agree with you. And, after seeing him throw down an alley-oop, maybe we get him in the dunk contest.
Oh, my gosh. Or a short guy contest in a sense of must be 6'4" or shorter.
So let's talk about this, because every time we have a dunk contest that is disappointing, which seems like it's 80% of the time, last 10 years or so, unless you get something like Levine versus Aaron Gordon.
Yes.
The people are always like, oh man, what do we do? How do we fix it? What do we do? What do we do? I don't know if you have any solutions. Personally, I think the number one problem is we've seen all the dunks at this point, right? We've seen like the human body can only move so many ways. We've seen all these dunks. We're a little bit jaded.
Can't reinvent the wheel.
I think the other thing is, listen, I loved Simon's dunk. I thought Obi Toppin, we can talk about this later, but he put the entire Knicks season at risk. Cassius, I thought, got robbed on the 44. But I think if you think back to like Gordon and Levine or even Vince, there's like an element of showmanship that's missing. And I think that often leads to it. And I'm not talking about props and jumping over jumping over stuff. I'm talking about like waving to the crowd and firing people up and acting like you're about to show people something they've never seen. I think that's part of it too. And then the other part of it is I think that the judging is always just a mess.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, and I because we have to circle back to, you have a good theory about judging, and I want you to say it, but to your point about the players not having showmanship, I think that this is a result of social media. Like, so for instance, you know how like we interacted when we were young? We were our own hype man. If I'm outside or if I'm about to shoot hoops at the trash can, I'm like, everybody, last shot, 5, 4, 3. And I'm like getting like, we had our own showmanship, but I think social media and the way that people interact now, it takes a little bit of that like human interaction, showmanship away, in a sense of they're not going to do that. We did that as kids. Like that was a part of what we did as kids.
That's actually a great point. I have worked with a ton of like Gen Z generation people who it's like their social media is popping. It is so funny. And then I will be talking to them in the office and it's just like, yes, no. Okay.
It's a difference.
It's like so quiet. I'm like, why? You're so
it's
reserved.
Wild to me. They're all so reserved. Yes. So I'm like, if you just think about even, that's a good example, even your favorite influencer, they're so reserved in real life. Like the human interaction part of it is difficult. And so that shows on camera tenfold. So you got people that may not be used to getting people hype or having that type of like, people don't even meet and date like that normally nowadays. It's like a dating app where you even get to know people. So I think we're missing that. You're right.
Yeah. And so to the point about the judging, I just think that the judging is always very erratic. There is, especially when the crowd's there, and there's a lot of, pressure on the judges not to be too mean. There's always like a 50 given too early or given to the wrong person.
Right.
It's certainly like, Spud Webb doesn't want to get on the wrong side of some up and coming player, and people like that don't want to make anybody mad. So I think we do it. Like the Masked Singer, where it's like, it's still like Neek, it's still it's still Josh Smith, it's still Spud Webb, but they're in masks and you don't know who they are, and they won't reveal it until the end, and that way, free from pressure, they can just judge.
Whoa. I was with you all the way until the reveal at the end. Jason, that defeats the whole purpose. Everybody will know, they will know who it is. So it's the Masked Singer without the reveal, because I think you're onto something though. Because like, shouts to Dominique Wilkins, that's my guy. Yeah. He was one of the judges, but you're right. We saw how everyone acted when Shaq went at a young player like a Donovan Mitchell. They went at him. They were like, oh, the OGs don't want the young guys. So there's that conflict. And then if you even have a Josh Smith, they might be like, well, he's not in the league, he's mad. Like, people will always make a reason for the judging. So yeah, let's make it an anonymous judging, and maybe have like the the plexiglass that separates them. Make it be not see-through. You can't see through the plexiglass, and they're just like, we don't know where these scores are coming from. But you can even write like 2-time NBA champ, like write their statistics, but don't show them.
And then finally, I just want to say to my guy Obi Toppin, Knicks rookie, I'm happy for him that he got this moment to shine. I will just say it was too risky. It was like, how it's like they won't let the president, the vice president, and the speaker of the house all be in the same place.
All in one room.
Yeah, they can't do that. To me, that's what Obi Toppin's dunk, in which he dunked over Julius Randle, the Knicks lone all-star, having a career year, and then his father. He brought out his father, known as Dunker's Delight in the New York area and in amateur basketball leagues, brought him out as well. And I just thought, man, if Obi misses this, it could just completely wreck the Knicks season and his family life all in one go.
Oh my gosh!
And I just think, like, listen, if you have to push the person's head down, the person that you're jumping over with the offhand, then don't do the dunk. Because now you're like, what if you crank on Julius Randle's vertebrae and now he's got a neck? I just think it's too dangerous for me. That's all. It's too dangerous.
That's your feelings.
I don't like.
It was too dangerous.
Yeah, don't do that. I was legitimately sweating. I was like, oh my God, it would be the most Knicks thing ever for Obi Toppin to mistime his steps and injure Julius Randle at a dunk contest.
No, I mean, I feel you fandom wise, but I'm just saying, to me, that dunk, and that's, again, we talked about, it's hard to reinvent. It's hard to invent a brand new dunk. So even when they're doing that, aside from the risk factor that you brought up, Jason, but even when they're doing that, to me, it's like the originality factor. It's just, it's not. It's hard to wow me, because I've seen people jump over everyone. Taco Fall was jumped over, I think, last dunk contest.
He didn't want to go out there too. They had to drag him out there.
He's like, nah, I'm good. I got hit in my head last time. I'm good.